Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to another episode of the Gafford and Brown Show. I'm Lamar Gafford.
I'm Robert Brown.
And after a long hiatus, guess what? We're back, live and in color. So pretty much we're going to have ourselves a pretty decent sized show today. We're going to be talking about the NBA right here, with the schedules come out, few different moves and everything else like that. Football's back as well. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But first, we really want to talk about the baseball situations, and it looks like we got ourselves a lot of people coming down hard with the steroids issues. About 13 players got suspended, I think. 12 players got 50 games, but the biggest one of the whole thing has been A-Rod, 211 games. What do you think about the suspension for him?
Wow, that's crazy. This guy was once considered the face of baseball, one of the highest paid baseball players ever, and it's crazy. The last 5 years have been horrible for Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah, it really is just. It seems like ever since he got that big contract, I think where the Yankees re-upped him from, I think 10 years, $250 million that he originally got from the Rangers, then got traded. I think it was 2007 when they upped it up and pretty much gave him an extension of the deal worth about $300 million or something like that. And so I guess ever since then he really has not played to the good of the contract, because we've seen his game has really went down. Last season he wasn't doing too well. He didn't make his debut until really Monday. And the only reason why he's playing now is because he appealed the suspension. And, I mean, that's one thing, but really it's clearly the Yankees just don't want to pay the guy.
Yeah, that contract is huge. We know that they mainly wanted to do it to see, basically for the record to be broke, which probably isn't going to happen anymore. For him to pass Babe Ruth and, wearing pinstripes, probably break the all-time record wearing pinstripes, but the way this is going, it might not happen.
Yeah.
It's trash. I mean, I think this might pass Barry Bonds in terms of fall from grace. I think so.
And pretty much. I mean, I think once we could remember all the way back in the 90s with those Mariners teams, as he was pretty much going to be the guy that was going to, whenever Griffey left, he was going to be the guy that took over and all this stuff. Or him and Griffey were pretty much, a very good tandem back in the day. I think he had like a 40-40 year 1 year too.
Yeah.
Like in 98 or something. And, a lot of people were liking this guy. A lot of people were thinking that this guy was, like you said, he was going to break the record. And then all of this happens, and it's just now it's like, what's going to happen? So really the thing is now too, the good question, I don't know if he's going to get banned, but do you think he should get banned?
No. I think I've explained my stance on steroids and HGH and all that to you.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think he should be banned from baseball. That's ridiculous. I think he just needs. I think the suspension is a little too harsh. You said 211 games.
Right.
That's the rest of this season and
the next season.
Yeah. So I think the suspension is too harsh. However, I understand you want to protect your brand, you want to protect the sport, the integrity of the sport. So I see why it was done. Do I agree with it? Not necessarily, but I understand why. But I am a bit disappointed in Alex Rodriguez, not because of his steroid use, but the constant lying about it. First he never was open about it, and then he got caught up in his lie. Then he finally admitted to it, and then with him not doing it again, and etc. It's all disappointing, because this was a guy, like we said earlier, he was picked to be the golden boy of baseball.
Right.
He was supposed to come show. He was supposed to be the guy that cleaned up the game. We always thought, at least, that he was clean. He took care of himself very well. We just thought he had a clean image in the public. We just thought he was going to be that guy that just changed everything. But unfortunately, not so much. And now we have to ask, is his career tainted now? Is his career tainted, and does he have a chance of going to the Hall of Fame?
I hate to say this, but yes, and I don't think he has a chance of going to the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I mean, it really has to be some type of miraculous, miraculous change with the Hall of Fame committee, in them possibly voting him or anybody that a lot of people really think that might have taken steroids at the time. And I'm one of those guys that really think Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame.
I agree as well.
And I just hate to really see it. I know he probably did not take it, pretty much until, I guess, I hate to speculate, but really Texas or some other time before then. But I hate to say that but it just really hurts his chances of making it to the Hall of Fame. I mean, 647 home runs. It's just, I hate to say it. I don't think he gets in. How about you?
Unfortunately, no. Barry Bonds isn't getting in, and he's never admitted to taking steroids, and he's never been suspended for taking steroids. It's all been alleged and etc. So, with the backlash he got from that, and people saying they're not going to vote him in, I'm pretty sure A-Rod is not getting voted in.
Right. Yeah, and it's just the sad thing of the game, of the way of the times. But as we have said before, though, I think if given the situation here, you're faced with a crazy situation here. If you're like a middling star, like you're in the last year of your contract, and you want to try to perform the best that you could possibly perform, and a good season might get you 4 years. Let's say about 4 years. Let's say about maybe $75 million. But a great season might get you 7 years, 130. It's just crazy right then and there, where most of these players that kind of want to make a name for themselves, they might have a younger player as the target behind their backs and all this stuff. It's just the crazy situation that sometimes different players go for different measures.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate. It's really unfortunate to see a guy that was this heralded, that was this, he was seen as this man that was just the standard for, just a baseball athlete is just tarnished now. It's unfortunate.
Right. So, I guess the next thing is this: like with the other 12 players, they're expected to really not appeal their suspension. So they're gonna really go after their 50-game suspensions right away. And the players, I'm gonna rattle off a name, some names here, like not all of them, but Johnny Peralta of the Detroit Tigers, Nelson Cruz of the Texas Rangers. Those guys right there, they're not going to appeal their suspension. So whenever the 50 games are up, they're going to be able to play in the last couple of games of the regular season, if not the playoffs, if their team make it into the playoffs. How do you think they're going to be receptive once they get back into the lineup? Home squad, of course we know a away squad is going to be rough.
It's going to be different. It's going to take time, but I think eventually, it'll be something that's forgotten, because the main thing to do is win. So I think eventually it'll be something that they get over.
Pretty much. I have to say the same thing. It's just, I hate to really say it like this, but in a way, baseball really has nobody to blame but itself for this situation.
Right.
They really could have taken. They really could have taken a much more bigger stance at it, like the NFL, like the NBA back in the day. But I think once you remember the chicks dig the long ball thing.
Yeah.
And everybody, it just seemed like everybody embraced that. The 98 thing, the 98 home run chase between McGwire and Sosa, where I want to say that maybe there had been a little bit of, allegations about McGwire taking steroids then.
Right.
And many people probably had. I don't know if McGuire admitted it or not, but it kind of seemed like we kind of took a little bit of a blind eye to it. Like, oh well, that's okay. He's hitting 70 home runs. I mean, hey, I don't care if he's doing it clean or dirty or anything else like that. As long as we're getting these home runs. But once we got the Mitchell report, next thing you know, it just seemed like crap hit the fan after that. Crap hit the fan after that, basically.
Now, I just wanted to, you mentioned a good topic about how baseball created this monster. I think that's a good segue into maybe our next topic about the NFL and them banning celebrations. And it's something that strikes a lot of people as disappointing and unfortunate when the NFL has made a lot of money and a lot of they've used for a lot of their exposure these celebrations.
Right. And I've just been when I saw the list of stuff that they were taking away, which you can't point, you can't do military salutes or tributes or anything else like that. Can't spike the ball. I mean, it's pretty much right now the no fun league in a way. Yeah, I just don't get the reason why they want to try to go ahead and get rid of some of this stuff.
Well, I had one friend. He thinks it's all monetary. He thinks that it's to get money out of players. I mean, this is going to be broke. It's habit. I just can't see somebody making a sack and not doing something celebratory.
Right.
Or scoring a touchdown. And what disappoints me is that's how the NFL, when you watch highlights or you watch NFL things, that is what you see. You don't watch linemen holding each other and highlights. Right. You watch Cam Newton score a touchdown, Superman pose. Aaron Rodgers throwing a touchdown pass, the belt.
Right.
It's just, and I might catch flack for this, but honestly, I take some of it as racist. I think some of it's racist. I think the NFL, I think Goodell has an obsession with making the NFL like it was during the 70s or 60s or 50s, with it being an old man's game. I think the flashiness of it has turned a lot of older people off. And let's be honest, most of the owners of the NFL are white older men.
Right.
And most of them, they don't like the flashiness. They don't like the elaborate celebrations. Some of the themes. I remember when people hated. What really set all this off was Joe Horn. In my opinion, Joe Horn's cell phone. I think that crossed the line that the league has been trying to fix, or I think that just was the bad taste in so many people's mouths. Because I think after that, that's when things really started getting more strict. I think after that, you couldn't do anything using the prop or the ball. The TO and the Joe Horn thing, you couldn't use prop or anything with the ball on the prop. At least using the ball as a prop, or lying or getting on the ground or anything like that. And since then, there's been a constant. I mean, this day has been inevitable almost. It's been leading up to this. And I take some offense to it because, I mean, let's be honest, most of these elaborate celebrations and these things were created by black players. Are done by black players. And I just take offense. I feel some type of way about it. That's what I'm basically trying to say. I just don't, I don't see the point.
And you do drive a good point there because, I mean, as far as actually some of the better ones that really do make the different, more elaborate celebrations, receivers, T.O., Chad, there's got to be another one that was on that list that made some very good celebration. But T.O. and Chad were pretty much the two of the top ones at that list.
Right.
And then we can still, if we want to really go back to old school, let's go to Dion with his celebrations. Michael Irvin, of course. Burton Hanks, Funky Chicken and all that stuff. So I've pretty much said this yesterday too. Like, if I was the commissioner of the league, I would actually try to make these celebrations longer. Like, I mean, really, that's what people really care to see. Honestly, I just feel like we look at NFL. We don't try to look and see, well, we do admire some people or have a little bit of quote unquote gentleman's game and all that stuff. Barry Sanders handing the ball off to the referee. I mean, that was his thing. That was his thing. But we also saw other people make celebrations, and we wanted to try to see, T.O. did this. What is Chad going to do now? Chad did this. What's T.O. going to do now? Or what is somebody else going to do better than we haven't seen before, or anything else like that? So I would say as such, it's not hurting anybody. I mean, why do we have much of a big deal about it? I mean, really. I mean, if you don't want me to dance in the end zone, then don't let me score. But if I score, I do deserve the right to at least celebrate in the best way possible. Not to overly try to show you up, but then again, I got to the end zone. I just gotta. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't like it. I feel some kind of way about it. I just think that I think this is special because, like, I mean, let's be honest. Most of the people making these touchdowns are black. I mean, really half of the league is more than over half of the league is black. So I just feel this. What's the point? It's a game. It's entertainment. That's what I hate most about the Roger Goodell era.
Right.
It's entertainment. You make tons of money off this. You make tons of money off. You have a video game that makes a huge profit. That's the thing. So if you play Madden now, you aren't going to see celebrations. That's another thing. Madden, you play Madden, score touchdowns, going to go straight to select the play. I don't. It's crazy. All of it's crazy. It's elementary. I don't know.
Exactly. So, and that's the one and good thing that you also brought up about Goodell. I mean, it just seems like there's just so much stuff that he has done that has really driven me outside. It's just driven me. Like, this is one thing, but the tackling and all this stuff. The concussions. I understand they got a lawsuit pretty much right then and there and all that, but it seems like they've really taken away the game from what we knew and what we loved from it to be about. It seems like some of the physicality has really been taken out of the game and all that. And I just hope for better times, I guess. I just hope for better times.
It's crazy. I have a question. When does Goodell era end? Does he like the thing? That's the funny thing about commissioners. Do they? Is there leaving all up to them? Does he have a contract?
I think he does have a contract. It might, and I'll take a look at it too, because I think from what I can remember, the CBA is a 10-year one, and I think that's going to be until about 2021. Let me take a look at here and see when is Goodell going to get ready to go. But yeah, that's just one of those things that really just drives me a whole lot. But let me just go ahead and ask you this: over under how many let's set the over under how many fines do you think they're gonna have about celebrations?
It's second nature. It's second nature, man. I just can't see somebody making a sack and just running back to the huddle or scoring a touchdown and not. It's stupid. I hope there's so many fines. I just hope that this rule is taken so lightly that it has to be abolished. Mm-hmm. I hope that's what happens. I hope players just say, "Fuck this." I mean, just say that and just keep it going. I mean, I want them to do celebrations when a time. I want this to get, man.
That would be one thing too. I mean, seeing the backlash and seeing what the referees have to do now. Like, my God, what do we do? I mean, we can't just throw everybody out of the game and all that stuff. Man, you know what? Maybe we should just try to get kickers to try to do celebration after field goals. But then again, we remember what happened to the grammatical.
Yeah, you don't want injuries
you kind
like
of
that.
don't want that. By the way, the question that you had asked about Goodell's contract, it ends in 2018.
Real tears.
He actually got a 5-year contract last year, about January 25th, I see. So we have about 5 more years of this, possibly. That is, unless he wises up somewhere down the road or something like that. But yeah, I got a feeling that there's going to be so many fines. There's going to be, I just hope that, and he better not suspend anybody. Because if he suspends somebody, then we can really raise some hell about this.
Yeah, if suspension happens, I think the players union is going to step
Oh
in.
yeah, they have to really do that here. By the way, I just wanted to also say too, for anybody that wants that's listening to the show, if they want to chime in, you can either Skype us at primetime2832 for face to face, or you can call us at 318-572-0078 if you want your voice on here. And also you can either leave a comment on the comment box or tweet us at primetime2832 or Uptown Bobby, and you will get your thoughts and all that, and we'll be happy to chime off with that and all that stuff too. But let's keep it on with the football topic here. Training camps.
Ooh, the injury bug is out and about. How do you feel about that, man? How do you think? One, I want to get what do you think is causing so many injuries, and two, I mean, do you feel like maybe training camp is a little too intense, or?
It seems like right now there is no country for healthy ACLs. Like really, it's just sad. I think we're at the total of about 5 now. I think, and the Eagles have 2 of them, 2 of their receivers, which we're gonna get to something else about that topic a little bit later. But yeah, it's just I don't know what's possibly could be it. I mean, is it the players not taking care of themselves, or is it just trying to get right back into the normal grind of things? But it just seems like we always have that happen, especially with the first time we actually get to training camp, or that first preseason game, and it's just such a very bad blow because the Packers, Brian Bulaga is going to be out for this, pretty much might be out for the season with his injury. Then you got Jeremy Maclin's out for the season. Danilo Alexander's out for the season. You know, got a lot of different names out here that's out for the season. Percy Harmon, I know he doesn't have an ACL injury, but the hip injury is going to keep him out for about 12 weeks of the season. So it's just now to the point here. Players are going to have to step up. And this might be the one big time for that rookie and all that, just to come up there and just do something else like that. But of all the injuries here, what do you think? Who do you think is going to be impacted the worst as far as the teams?
I think Jeremy Mack is going to hurt a lot. The 49ers injuries, I think they had 3 season-ending injuries, if I'm not mistaken. And I think Patrick Willis also had a hand injury, but it's not nothing. It's not nothing. I don't think it's overly. I don't think it's something that's going to keep him out too long. But man, it's crazy.
Right. I mean, I have to say, at least for the Eagles case, it's going to be very bad for them because they now have not too many players that's out there. I mean, you lose 2 receivers. 2 receivers, not 1, but 2 receivers out for the season. That's going to be one. That's got to be one thing. I have to say the Seahawks injury is going to be very bad too, because this was a team that not only had playoff aspirations, but also had aspirations of winning the NFC West and possibly going to the Super Bowl, if not winning the whole thing.
Right.
And I know with Harvin, you might get him back later in the season, but let's say you go, I mean, you're not starting off as what you thought you was going to start off. Let's say you would start off like 6-6. I mean, there's something still salvageable to the season, but now you're kind of scrapping just to make it to the playoffs, not just pretty much already getting there and trying to get to that division title and all that. But that's going to be one of those things too. Did you get a chance to see the preseason game or bits and pieces of the preseason
Yeah, I
game?
saw the beginning of it. Got to see Kyle Orton start. The Dallas defense is what I took away the most from it. And Miami's new uniforms. Well, new. Well, they're not really new. Well, they're shiny.
Revamped.
Revamped, yeah. With the dolphin going up instead of down. Yeah. But, yeah, I took away that Dallas' defense looks like it might be very promising. And the Dolphins, they have some fight, but we got to see how they start our games. But just grateful and excited to have football back, I suppose. What about you?
Oh yeah, I'm just so excited that it's back. Period. Like I can care less really if it's preseason games, which I'm not going to really watch all of the preseason games. But I'm just happy that it's really back, and I'm happy that we're really going to get the chance to have it back and everything. About the Dolphins, I have to say I kind of like the uniforms. Kind of like the uniforms, but as far as their play out there on the field, I think they played pretty decently. Early in the game, though, they were down 17-0. Late in the game, they really did try to come back, but I was really impressed about Dallas and the play calling. Well, of course, we now know that Jason Garrett no longer has the play calling duties, so it allows him to actually be the coach of the team. So Bill Callahan is actually calling the plays as the offensive coordinator of the team, and I think he called a pretty good game. He went to mostly a fairly conservative game, had a lot of runs. Philip Tanner was one guy that really stood out on as far as the running backs for the Cowboys. On defense, George Selby was another guy that really stood out. I mean, really didn't have a lot of the players that we were looking at. I don't think Ware played. I don't think Romo played. I don't know if Dez actually got a chance to play or anything else like that. But you had some of the big time starters that did not get a chance to play. So we got a chance to see some youth, and I think I really like to see how everything was going and all that. About that.
Right.
So I think right now the next preseason game is going to be the Bengals and Falcons. That's going to be on TV. It's going to be on ESPN. So these are going to be very interesting to see, and we're actually going to have ourselves a little bit of a NFL preview for the next couple of weeks, where we're actually going to talk about the two different divisions each week. And we're going to try to bring on the air a journalist that is a fan of one of the two different divisions. So I think next week, when we have our show, or the next time that we do have the show, we're actually going to talk about the NFC North, the AFC North, and the NFC West. Two of the divisions that just made it to the playoffs, made it to the Super Bowl and all that stuff. So I know that's going to be really fun to see what's going to happen there. I think we had, let's see, and I think we're still also going to try to do that fantasy football thing, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to try to get that out of the way too, and we're going to give you more of the details about it later. But our plans right now are $20 league. We're going to try to see what type of prizes and all that stuff we can give out and everything as far as that. But we really want you guys to join too. It helps build awareness to the show and all that. Once again, it's just another something to give back to the fans and everything. And also, I really can't wait until the season really begins, because I know my Cowboys gets to play against Rob's Broncos.
Yeah.
And I know we're going to have some wagers along the line for there.
What's going to hurt? Sorry, Lamar. I'm apologizing in advance because it's not going to be good.
Oh, man. Well, as long as I don't have to wear a Broncos jersey or something like that, or I'm pretty sure I might have Broncos insignia, or then again, you might be wearing Cowboy stuff.
That's fine.
Let it burn, let it burn, let it burn. All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and take ourselves a 30-second break, real quick, and we're gonna try to get right back into the NBA. A lot of different moves have been made. Brandon Jennings, he now has a new home. We got ourselves the NBA. The schedules came out, and we also got a few more moves and all that stuff. It's the Gafford and Brown Show. All right, and we're right back with the Gafford and Brown Show. Very good first segment that we just had. We were talking about the steroids, and we were also talking about a little bit about the NFL too. I'm sure we and the episode is about to be over, but right now we're pretty much talking about the NBA, and we got ourselves a lot of moves. But since we've last been on the air, Brandon Jennings got himself a new home. He's now a Detroit Piston.
Yes, and I'm excited someone took a chance on the guy. Um, I'm happy. I'm happy that he got a deal with a team. I wasn't expecting a signing trade, but that's good. Milwaukee also got something for him, and I'm happy that he's somewhere different. He's in a bigger market. He's on a team with a tradition and a history of great point guards. I think it's a good move.
And I gotta agree. I think so too. I don't. Will they make the playoffs? I don't know. It's a watered down East, but it's a step in the right direction, and they really needed that since because the last time they made it to the playoffs, I think it was 2009, and that was that year that Iverson was on the team, and so they've really seen some Andre Drummond.
Yeah.
And then you also got some pretty good rookies with Peyton Siva and Caldwell Pope, and I think one of the guys from North Texas, Tony Mitchell, I think. Uh, and they also got Chelsea back,
Yeah.
and they got Rasheed Wallace as the assistant coach.
Oh, that's good.
So this is something right there. This is probably going to put them in a step in the right direction. Will we say playoffs right now? Time will tell. Time will tell, I think. But what would you think about their chances in competing for that 8th seed?
They're there. I think you have maybe three other teams that are just they're right there as well. You have Toronto. A lot of people are liking the moves they're making. You also have the Washington Wizards, who just paid John Wall, and they also have a solid team. Just had a series of unfortunate injuries last year, and the Boston Celtics are my dark horse kind of because I'm liking. I mean, we have to see what they look like on and when the season starts. Also, this is Rondo's chance to show what he's worth. So we're gonna see. What do you think?
I think it's a pretty good chance. I mean, you got to put them right in that mix. Um, I'll give you another team that probably is going to be in that mix too. Cleveland. Cleveland's going to be. I think Cleveland is going to be.
I think Cleveland maybe one player away, maybe one or two players away.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. They're definitely a team you have to put on your radar for the 8th seed.
I mean, if they can stay healthy, and I think the biggest issue last year was from them trying to make that move was I think Fairchild got hurt during the season and it kind of went the hell after that. But if Fairchild can probably stay healthy, Kyrie, and then you also have their new rookie Anthony, I think Antonio Bennett, Anthony Bennett, I think that's his name. Um, they have a decent team, and you also got Bynum, so they have a decent team around them that they could probably put themselves in the playoffs. The East is a little bit watered down than the West is. I think Detroit has a shot. It might be a little bit of a better shot, but it's going to be interesting to see for those last two spots there as it is in the West too.
Right.
So I think it's really going to be the big issue right there. Now, Greg Oden has also chose a team too, but he's chosen predictably, really, the Heat. Now, what do you think that's going to be for them?
If it works out, it's going to be pretty impressive. I like the look. I like it. I've been a guy that wanted to see Greg Oden do well since he left Ohio State. I just thought the guy was going to be a special player. People forget this is a guy that was compared to a young Bill Russell after playing just one season with an injured wrist.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited. I hope it goes well, and if it goes well, it's going to be really scary because this guy's people forget he's only 25 years old.
Right.
He's never played a full NBA season, and if somehow, some way, he's if he's just 60%, I think this would be great for not only the Heat but him as well. If it works out, which I hope it does work out for the guy, I mean, the long-term success could be crazy because not only would you have a potential trade bait, but you would also have a building block for the future if LeBron decides to leave.
Right. And it's one of those low risk, high reward type moves right there. I mean, when you're the Heat, you're pretty much pretty much over the salary cap and the luxury tax and all that stuff. So now it's just all about trying to find the right pieces just to put in so that you can try to continue to get to the championship and all. I think this is the best move that he could have had right then and there. Because, like you said, he stays healthy. He gets a championship. He gets a chance to get a championship. The good thing about this is they're not gonna really expect him to do a lot. Like those number one pick expectations that he had with Portland, all that's pretty much gone out the window because you have LeBron, you have Wade, and you have Bosh. And if he can just at least give them a solid, maybe, I would say probably 5 points a game, that would be at least something right then and there to help out. If he can give them any more, fine. But if he can give them at least, just be productive, get out there, rebound, give them at least at least be one of the better centers they've had in that Big Three era because you really can't think of any center they really had that has been fairly, really decent. I mean, Joe Anthony, Ilgauskas. Who else they had at center too?
There was your boy from Dallas.
Eric Dampier. Oh my God.
Yeah, and then they flipped in Joel Anthony.
Right.
So they haven't had much long-term success at center, but I mean, when you have LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh,
right,
you really don't need a center. Yeah,
exactly.
So if Greg Oden works out, it's really the rich getting richer,
mm-hmm.
And I definitely see them. If Oden can give them at least 10, if he can give them a double, and I'm gonna say 2 to 3 blocks a night for maybe 50 games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm expecting a repeat, honestly.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be really tough. And once again, I'm really pulling for Greg Oden because I don't want to see this be. I don't want to see the sight of him being injured as him being, just the point of his career and all that stuff. I mean, I still remember from the 2007 draft where the Blazers had the first pick, and it was like honk once for Greg Oden and then honk twice for Kevin Durant, and we all know they chose Oden first, and Durant gets drafted number 2, and well, Durant is pretty much blown Oden out of the water. But if Greg Oden can at least be 50% of the player that a lot of people projected him to be before his career began, that's at least is something. And I think the Heat will be glad to really take that right then and there. Now we also got another couple of moves too. That Juan Blair now has a new home too,
which has me ecstatic because I've been saying he's easily one of the best post players I've seen, undersized post players I've seen in a long time, probably since Ben Wallace. But he can actually score. Where did he get? Where did he go?
Well, he stayed in Texas.
Dallas?
Yes.
Wow. Now as a Mavs fan, how do you feel about that?
Oh, great! I was just so happy about that because I've seen Blair from whenever he got playing time, especially 2010 and 2011 season, and also the 2011-2012 season, where this is a guy that can get you double doubles every now and then. He might not be the most explosive player out there because of the no ACLs. But this is a guy that can get the rebounds, that can get blocks and all this stuff, and he can be like a pretty good space player. Now we seen last year Greg Popovich did not play him too much at all. I mean, some people just kept on wondering, like, was he in the doghouse or something like that? But I think that now he's in a good situation. Rick Carlisle is going to try to play him. If not have him start, have him really coming off the bench and getting some good minutes off the bench. And I just think that this is going to be a good move right now. I still think the Mavericks are probably going to be one of those 6 teams that are probably going to be competing in that for those last 2 spots. So I really like the move.
Yeah, this is a good move.
I really like the move. Actually, I really liked what they've done this season, honestly, because I was thinking they didn't get the White, and that's kind of sad. That's kind of sad right there. They didn't get the White. They didn't get CP3, but they still built a pretty decent team. You got Samuel Dalembert, who's probably going to be your center, which he's no the White, but this is a guy that can be a pretty good shot blocker at times too. You also have Devin Harris. Looks like he's coming back. Looks like they're bringing back Brandon Wright. And you also got Monte Ellis, which I'm really going to be interested to see here. Which I think I said on Twitter, I would rather have taken Monte Ellis than Brandon Jennings.
Really?
Honestly. I kind of would have. I mean, like other than the defense sometimes, and Monte Ellis sometimes being a little bit of a gunner, I just feel like that if you give Monte help, and especially I seen one stat that really blew me away when he was with the Warriors when they had Baron Davis and Steven Jackson and all of them. It was a guy that shot north of 50%.
That was a long time ago, boy.
So
we talking about a good 4 years ago.
I just think that at least he'll have a consistent shooter with Dirk, who's at least going to shoot about 45%. So if Dirk can do that, can continue to do that, I think he had about 17 points last season, so it was a little bit of down year of him trying to get back into the game. since he was hurt. But if Dirk can at least give 20 points, I think it takes a little bit of the pressure off of Monte Ellis, and maybe it might can just allow him to perform a little bit better. And then you have a point guard right there, a little bit of a pass first point guard in Jose Calderon. Now the bad thing about this is I'm kind of scared for our defense.
Down the drain it goes. However, DeJuan Blair is a great defender.
Right.
He's undersized, but he's solid.
Mm-hmm.
And a great rebounder.
So at least there's something right there. Now, have you been keeping up a little bit about what the Oklahoma City has picked up?
Not really. There was a trade scenario that kind of scared the living daylights out of me. It was Oklahoma City trading Jeremy Lamb, Perry Jones, and Cephalosha in a three-way deal with Philadelphia and Boston, and us getting Courtney Lee, Thaddeus Young, and two other players from Boston, and giving Perkins back to Boston. I haven't heard any official word of it. That was just a scenario I saw, but if that move is made, giving James Harden away looks like the dumbest deal ever made, because I wouldn't understand why would you trade James Harden and get the youth in return, and then turn around and trade that same youth only a year later.
Mm-hmm.
And also let Kevin Martin leave. Kevin Martin, who's now a Minnesota Timberwolves. So I don't understand. I don't think that's going to happen. I hope it doesn't happen, because Jeremy Lamb has been playing very well this year in Summer League. So I hope it doesn't happen. But other than that, everything's been put. I thought we were going to go after Andre Iguodala, but apparently he's in Golden State now. I think Tyreek Evans would have been a good fit, but he's in New Orleans now. So there's not much left out there. I think Oklahoma's going to rest on the youth they already have. Jeremy Lamb and Perry Jones and Reggie Jackson. So I think they're going to stand pat. I would like to see Kendrick Perkins move if possible.
Right.
But who knows?
And that's going to be really interesting to see. What do they do? Like, do they amnesty him or not? Actually, I do see that you guys have made a move. Ryan Gomes.
Okay.
So, there's that, and then I think you guys are also bringing back Fish, too.
Yeah, Fish.
So, those are two of those moves right there. I just think, at least for Oklahoma City, it's just all about getting Westbrook back. And once he gets back and healthy, we know OKC's going to make it to the playoffs. And we know that they are more than likely going to be one of the top two seeds with them and San Antonio. So it's just now building themselves right back to be that championship contender. And I think that they got themselves. The window is still pretty good. You still got Durant. You still got Westbrook. You still got Ibaka. You still got a good team. And I think they're still gonna be formidable in the West. They're still gonna be very good in the West, and they're still gonna be a force to really be dealt with right there. They can hold their own.
Right. So I'm just anxious to see how it's gonna go, because right now I think the West is probably gonna go almost the same way. The same way it's gonna go like last year, maybe with a few teams changing places. I think the Warriors definitely are. Not the Warriors, but Golden State definitely not going to finish number 3. I think they're going to make the playoffs again, though. There's somebody that's probably going to fall out. I think Minnesota might make their league. We're going to see. It's going to be fairly competitive.
Mm-hmm. Now, speaking of the NBA, too, we're also going to be talking. We're talking the schedule right now, and the schedule just came out yesterday. And we got ourselves a very big, looked like a very big start to the start of the season right now. I'm trying to, let's see right here. I got the schedule right now, and it looks like we're opening up the season here. We got Orlando and Indiana. They're going to be on the. I think it's going to be a little bit of a local game, but you can catch it on League Pass. But the two big games on NBA on TNT, Miami against Chicago. Miami's going to get their rings against Chicago. And then you also got the Clippers and the Lakers. Thoughts about those two?
Um, the Chicago game is gonna be exciting because I mean if we get to see the return of Derrick Rose, the Clippers and Lakers, I'm kind of over that rivalry already. But I'm excited for a lot of. I'm excited for that first meeting between the Lakers and Houston.
Oh yeah. And for those that I think that have not really got a chance to see that first game is going to be on November the 7th. I want to say, November the 7th. Of course, that game is going to be on TNT, and that first game is actually going to be in Houston. But a lot of people probably also want to know when is the White going to come back to LA, and that's going to be on February the 19th and April the 8th. And man, could you just imagine the response he's going to get going back to LA?
It's gonna be crazy. I think it's gonna be worse than LeBron going back to Cleveland.
Honestly, I think I mentioned this to you before. I think that they really should cheer. They gotta cheer him.
Who's White?
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, you're saving money, and then you look like you got yourself in a very good spot for the 2014 season. But of course, they're probably not gonna get a chance to see that. But you know, I just can just imagine everybody booing and everything else like that. Now, Christmas Day is actually going to be very interesting too, because the NBA keeps its quintuple header, but the first game is going to be the Bulls against the Nets in Brooklyn. The second game is going to be your Thunder going out to MSG to play against the Knicks. The middle game is going to be LeBron and them going to LA to play against the Lakers. Possibly, who knows? Kobe might be back by then. You also got the Houston Rockets. They're getting some love. They're actually going to play against the San Antonio Spurs, who's finally getting some love again on Christmas. Mm-hmm. And the last game, which is probably going to might be the most exciting game that we get a chance to see. The Clippers go out to Golden State and to play against the Warriors. Now, your thoughts about the Christmas slate?
I'm excited. I'm liking it. Sounds better than last year's already.
Yeah, I mean, last year, I'm trying to think here, we had the Nets Celtics. I think the Nets Celtics, the Knicks and Lakers, Heat Thunder,
Chicago and
Houston, which that was
a
blowout city. And I think it was Nuggets and Clippers, I think. Yeah. Now, I really think that I have no issue about the slate right here. You got yourself some very good games here. I mean, of course, the first game is gonna have Rose against Williams, so that's gonna be interesting to see. And against two teams that really had a pretty decent playoff series last year. Of course, you got with the OKC and the Knicks, Carmelo against Durant, and we're gonna get the chance to see who's probably maybe the two of the top 5 players in the league right then and there. I think the only problem here about the schedule is if the Lakers do not have Kobe Bryant back, I think that Heat Lakers game is gonna be.
Yeah, it's gonna be a snooze fest.
Yes, it really is.
Blowout, brother.
I've said it before. I think this is gonna be the food coma game. Like seriously. Like seriously. But it's also gonna be nice to see Houston and San Antonio get some love finally. And I'm gonna be interested to see how those two get a chance to play against each other. Kind of building back that rivalry, kind of building back the whole Texas Triangle thing. And of course, those three squads, them and Dallas just play tough every single time.
Yeah.
And once again, the All-Star game is going to be in New Orleans this year too. So that's also going to be an exciting thing. So we really can't wait to see what's going to happen. Um, Outside of your favorite team here, what team are you more interested to see this season?
Mm, I'm ready to see Boston. Boston and Brooklyn the most. I want to see if Rondo is capable of leading a team and helping them win without the big three, because so many people attributed that to his success. I also ready to see Brooklyn, how they interact with Jason Kidd as a coach, Garnett and Pierce playing on a different team, and how will they mesh together?
Right, because I could just only imagine. I can just only imagine how it's going to be, and I don't know if Rondo's going to be back healthy by the time the season begins. Let's hope so. But I think this is still a decent team. This is still a pretty good team. I mean, it's going to be to see here. What does Jeff Green do? And I think he's kind of ready. It's now going to be on his shoulders here.
Yeah.
Can he make that big leap that a lot of people had him projected to be from being the fifth pick of the draft?
Well, he had that huge game against Miami last year where I think he scored 40, 40 plus. Yeah, so I think he's ready. But we're gonna see. I think they have a solid team in place, so we're definitely gonna see if they're ready.
Oh, definitely. I think another team that I'm really interested to see, if I had to say from like the East, I'm kind of interested to see. It's either going to be the Bulls or the Pacers, really. I really like the moves the Pacers have made, and they got Luis Scola now, so and they really have done themselves a great job, and I think that they could probably. I would not be surprised if they unseat Miami. They've really done themselves a pretty good job, and they're not scared of Miami. So I'm going to be interested to see about what they do. The Bulls, in the case of how do they do with Rose back, because we saw how good they were without him. I mean, now with him back in the lineup, how good can they be? And I think, another team, and I guess if you want to say in the West, is either going to be the Warriors, because I finally think they got some direction, and maybe the Pelicans. I'm actually interested to see how the Pelicans do. New jerseys and all that stuff too, which I think we also got a chance to look at the jerseys. What you think about those?
They're kind of boring. But I mean, it's an upgrade, you know.
Yeah, I just think once again, they're going to be interested to see. And I think I read today that they got themselves 6 nationally televised games.
Right.
So, a lot of people are going to get the chance to see how good can this team be, and I think they're going to be it's going to be a very big adjustment, and it's going to be they really put themselves right there in the position that I'm not going to say they're going to make the playoffs, but it's a step in the right direction, and I would not be surprised if they are challenging for one of those last few spots at the latter half of the year. I would not be surprised.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think they're going to be finished 9th, and maybe in a year or two they'll be a usual contender to make the playoffs.
Right. So it's going to be pretty good, and I think as we have said too before, like a lot of people that's making fun of the name and a lot of people that's making fun of the jersey, winning cures everything.
Right.
Winning cures everything. And once they start to win, look out. The name and the jersey is going to keep on. But if they lose, well, yeah. Have fun with that. So we're basically going to go ahead and take ourselves another 30-second break, and we're going to go right back for the last part of the segment. I guess we're going to talk about Johnny Football. This guy allegedly said that he's going to buy some rims I'm just tell you why I think that he is my hero right after this. All right, we're right back with the Gafford and Brown Show, and right now we're pretty much about to get ready to wrap up the show real quick. But right now it seems like Johnny Football is finding his way into some more bad news.
Johnny Mother Football.
There you go. And right now it seems like that allegedly over the weekend he got in trouble by signing some autographs and looked like that he was probably going to get paid, offered about, I would say 75,000 for those autographs, I think.
Yeah.
So once again, it just goes back to the age-old question here: should the athletes be paid or not?
Of course. Of course, they should be paid. They should receive some type of stipend. Of course, you don't want to pay them too much money because then it almost defeat the purpose
Right.
of even getting drafted. But they deserve something. I think people are scared of the. I think people are scared. I think people think it'll open Pandora's box, but honestly, a lot of them are getting paid already.
Mhm.
So instead of having all these scandals and all these controversies, let's just go ahead and just do it. Just give them a stipend. Give them a good. I don't know how you would do the percentages and all that. I'm not an accountant or anything,
Mhm.
but just set something up where they get where they receive a nice, almost like a second scholarship.
Right. Because I just think this, and of course they probably are getting paid here and there. We just don't know. We don't.
We know it.
We know it.
We just don't see it.
We just don't see it happening. All that stuff, and we just don't see it. But I mean, come on, man. It's just. I really think that they should get that stipend here and there. I would not be against that, really. And for the ones that really object to it, it's just like, well, they're already getting a free ride. What else could they need? Well, I mean, they do need something. I feel like too, and that's pretty much it. Like, I think you gotta at least, and they could at least set it some of the different ways. Not just only football gets money and basketball gets money, but maybe some of the other sports gets money too. That maybe not too many people really care about.
Right. Soccer,
softball. I hate to really say it. I mean, anybody that's listening on there.
Yeah, well, yeah, they don't bring in the money that
they don't bring in the money.
Basketball bring.
But I really think that you guys should be paid too, because I mean, what's fair is fair, really. And I mean, but it's just once again, it's just Johnny Football is becoming really the hero of the whole thing. It's just like I don't care what the NCAA is doing right now. I'm just gonna live my life. I'm a 20-year-old guy, and that's about it. And it's just once again, and a lot of people just continue to say that his life and career is spiraling out of control. I mean, come on, man. No. I mean, what other? I mean, for anybody that's probably saying that, think about yourself when you were 20 years old in college. We all make bad decisions. I honestly could really say that. We've all made bad decisions. We've all wanted to party so much. We all have partied so much and all that. I mean, he's just a 20-year-old guy. I mean, he might be in the spotlight a little bit more than us at 20 or than the regular 20-year-old guy, because he's the quarterback of an SEC team that could make it to the national championship game, and he has a Heisman Trophy. But he's still a 20-year-old guy. he's still a 20-year-old guy. I mean, that's just the only thing I can really say about that. So yeah, there's that. Also going to continue to try to look at some of the other news here that we're looking at right now. Wes Welker, your boy Wes Welker's now saying that he had to endure Bill Belichick in New England.
Damn.
And it seems like we got a lot of these different receivers, Wes Welker included, Greg Jennings also, and they're firing back at their old teams. Thoughts about that?
Well, they have his I think I've always hated that when players do that, but I mean, people are gonna ask them for a response. So. But it's not necessarily a shocker because Belichick doesn't look exactly the most friendliest guy in the world.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
It really is.
What do you think about it?
I just think it's kind of a non-story, but it's going to really make that first game when he goes back to New England a little bit interesting. To be honest with you, it's gonna be pretty good. But I would say this though, Wes Welker has himself in a very good situation because when you go from Tom Brady to Peyton Manning, you got it made. We had talked about this before the show here. Shabazz Muhammad sent home from the NBA rookie program for, I guess, bringing in a female.
That's crazy. He's not having a very good rookie campaign so far. He's struggled in summer league. The controversy here with the girl, he definitely is going through some growing pains.
He's going to have to try to at least do something this season in order to get people to not think about that. And I think he possibly can do it. Minnesota, he could possibly do it. So I think he has a chance to really do that. Pete Rose talked about Alex Rodriguez. Wow, just imagine that. Admit your mistakes. And looks like Fox is also getting the U.S. Open as far as the golf thing. And I think I think some people had mentioned this on Twitter. What if Gus covers golf?
That's a little too intense, right?
Yeah,
that's kind of intense. I don't know, man. I think Gus can do anything.
Yeah,
he can do soccer, football, basketball. Why not golf?
I think Gus could probably make chess interesting.
Yeah,
so
he probably could.
He can really do that.
Man, I mean, he's high right
now. Let's see here. We also have Mo Williams. He has a new home, but many people were thinking that he was going to go to South Beach. He's going to Portland. Thoughts about that?
Well, he's doing good. Stockpiling a lot of players.
I really
like it.
Really like these. I really like what the Blazers are doing right now. They kind of abandoned the youth movement. You kind of didn't want them to do that. But I mean, you got Lillard, you got C.J. McCollum, you also got LaMarcus Aldridge. Anything to keep LaMarcus Aldridge happy, I think, is going to be in the long run. It's going to help them out. And the Blazers, I know we've mentioned a lot about their physical, their physical therapy and all that stuff. If Phoenix has been good, then Portland has been.
What about the Michael Beasley thing? They're also trying to shop him around, but I don't think anybody's really interested.
That's going to be interesting to see about Phoenix too. If I were them, maybe I could just hold on to Beasley. It just depends, though. They got themselves a pretty good young squad. And I really think, especially with Eric Bledsoe not going to be there, you got to at least try to keep something, I think. And I think Beasley can be that something. We've seen some flashes of brilliance of him, but he's really got a long way to go. But I think the future could be bright a little bit in Phoenix. It's not going to be this year. It's not going to be next year. It might not be the year after that, but I think.
Damn. It's 5 years from now.
But I think the future is going to be bright there for them. And the only bad thing I hated about the Bledsoe deal is what's that going to mean for Kendall Marshall. So that's really going to be a bad run right there. But we will see what's going to happen about that too. And speaking of season-ending injuries, the Saints lose a couple of players due to season-ending injuries. Joe Morgan and Kenyon Coleman. And it looks like Tiger Woods is also trying to have some more shots at the major. He's going to be in the PGA Championship. How many more majors you think he's going to win? That's all said and done. Yeah.
I give him 2 more. What about you?
Let's see. Maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3. I don't know if he's going to get the record. I really want to see him get the record. But once you get older, it's the chances of you really getting that record is not going to be high, and it's going to be tough for him right there. Here, and also we saw this last night. The Atlanta Braves got to a very good Twitter war against the Washington Nationals after Bryce Harper celebrated after a home run. The Braves plunked them. And then the Braves tweeted, "Clown move, bro." And then the Nationals basically responded back, "You like your testing this between teams and the Twitter accounts."
It's different. It makes you wonder who's doing it. But I like it. It's entertaining. What about you?
Same here. I think it's probably like, who knows? It's probably a 20-year-old intern that's trying to get on the team and all that stuff. But it really does set for some nice tones. It shows that everybody has a personality. So, if it's not hurting anybody, hey, I'm all for friendly little trash talk here and there. So, hey. It might be crazy one of these days whenever we might get a team, if the team takes it too far, maybe. But hey, who knows? I would like to see it between networks, actually.
That's a tough one right there. I don't know.
Yeah, I could just only imagine right there Rupert Murdoch getting mad at somebody just because somebody from Fox News 1 getting at the other guys here. Oh, and speaking of networks, numbers never lie.
Oh yeah, that controversy. I still don't know all the details exactly.
Well, apparently, it was all about. Of course, it's between Michael Smith and Hugh Douglas. The intoxicated Hugh Douglas was, I guess, mad that Michael Smith did not put Adam up on stage and call them names and everything like that. It's going to be interesting to see what is going to happen to Hugh. Because I got a good feeling that Mike is not going nowhere. Mike is not going to go nowhere. Yeah, he's set. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen to Hugh. Next thing you know, he might be working with Rob Parker somewhere. So we'll see what's going to happen, what's going to come about with that. But dang, it's not really a good look right there. And then we also got the Manning brothers there in a rapping commercial, which I hadn't seen quite yet.
Right.
And then the guy from the Butt Fumble, Brandon Moore, instead of going to the Cowboys, he retires.
Oh, so he didn't want to play for Dallas.
Kind of felt bad about that. But, and speaking of that, it seems like Mark Sanchez is going to start this preseason game against the Lions. I wouldn't make anything of it quite yet since it's the preseason, But when we get to the regular season, it's going. I guess the clock is really going to be ticking down to see when does Geno Smith take over the Jets.
It's gonna happen. I say maybe week 6.
I'll give it about 7 or 8, maybe. And it just really depends on how the Jets do. And I hate to say it, the Jets really have themselves to blame for it because they kind of shot his confidence down when they got Tebow, and I think that's all she wrote after that point. So we'll see what happens. So pretty much that's gonna end it for our show today. When's gonna be our next show? Do you have anything else to add?
I don't. Probably sometime next week.
So we're gonna try to get right back to you on that one right there. We're also gonna try to get some people on the show too. Hey, anybody that wants to get on, anybody that wants to, continue to get on, drop a comment on our comment box and all this stuff. We've always, feel free to do that. Let us know how we're doing, just period. And also listen to the other shows here on the Spreaker, on the National Sports Network too. I guess it's the year anniversary for everybody that's on there too. So, we're very excited. We're really excited that they given us the opportunity to do that. And, just once again, it's just all about the fans and everything else like that. If it wasn't with y'all, hey, we wouldn't be on here doing what we normally do. So that pretty much ends it right there. Any other news like that?
Right. Nothing really.
Just everybody keep safe and watch football, I guess.
Baseball as well.
Oh yeah, baseball as well. Yeah, man, we still got to look at the game, man.
Yeah.
We still definitely have to look at the game. It's getting to that point, but I guess the Little League World Series is starting to come on, so that's gonna pique a lot of interest. And of course, baseball is starting to get that good point right there where it's gonna get a little bit testy here and there. So I really can't wait, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it for our show today. I'm Lamar Gafford.
I'm Robert Brown.
And that does it for the Gafford and Brown Show. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and see you later.